So what's the best way to fund your business? It really depends. In my opinion, I like to stay away from debt, especially unneeded debt that's not going to bring you that much value, and debt that has high interest. But sometimes it makes the most sense to go into debt to start a business. But if you can, I would recommend funding the business just from savings if that's available to you, or getting in contact with some type of organization that can provide you some startup funding. And there are quite a few options for that. But of course, if you can't fund through savings, you can't get any grants or interest-free loans or things like that, then you'll want to look into getting some debt. And with that, maybe a good option would be just borrowing from friends or family, but you'll want to be really careful with how you navigate that and document it properly and get a really clear agreement as to when and how that's paid back, because you don't want to harm that relationship. If that doesn't work, you can apply for formal business loans or lines of credit, and those can be really useful. A line of credit can be really good if you just need money for operating costs and you're not necessarily buying or paying for any startup costs with it. You could also use credit cards, which are not a good option for long-term debt, but if you just need kind of a loan for a month to get things going before clients start paying, that can be useful in certain circumstances. There's also options like crowdfunding, which can be really useful for certain types of businesses. So there are tons of different options to fund your business. And again, ideally, I would stay away from the high interest debt like credit cards or payday loans or things like that, and rather go to lenders that'll give you conventional bank loans or lines of credit. And also, you'll just want to be strategic with that borrowing. If you get a business loan for $200,000 and you really only need $100,000, and so the remaining $100,000 is just kind of sitting in your bank account, but you're paying interest on it, you may want to put that into some high interest savings accounts that you're at least getting something back, or maybe speak with a lender and see if you can pay some of that off early because you don't need it and you don't want to pay the interest on it. But yeah, it really does depend. And it's often not just going to be one type of funding for your business. Like maybe a little bit of it is paid for by your savings. You get a small grant, you have a business line of credit that you use for operating costs, and then you have a business loan for startup costs. So it can be good to use a mixture of different ones, and they can be utilized in different ways at different times to best serve your business needs.